faith, business, info. You're tuned in to Bop with Purpose podcast, where purpose leads and success follows. We are live and direct on Bop with the Purpose podcast with the one and only DJ Cut It.
What's up, baby?
Oh, another day in paradise. Man, we ain't talked in a minute because we haven't been going to that many shows.
Nah,
I know you have.
no, I haven't really.
Really?
Yeah, it's been slowing down a little bit, and so the opportunity to just I still go for like JRL and I go with Danny to the premieres, but like the smaller shows I haven't been getting booked for like the videography work or none of that just because it's slow, what I mean? And videographer is the last person you paying. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh no, we need this. We can catch it on our iPhone.
Right. Well, it's tough because I mean, you look at even companies like us, it's like paying for another flight, hotel, day rate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're barely making any money at the shows. It's all about relationships. That's all that it is.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, the relationships are extremely valuable, but
100%.
like you say, it depends on the size of the company that you're dealing with, whether they can afford stuff like that. So
right.
I do make money. Like when I'm at Premiere, I may make money on the whim, like smaller brands like yourself that may be there. I'm already there. I'll be like, hey, I could shoot you a little 30-second promo for $100.
Right.
And I have it for you the next day, that night. Cause I'm old now. I don't go partying or nothing like that. So I'll edit 2 or 3 quick promos at the end of the night and have it ready for the people.
And your content's fire too.
Appreciate it, man.
It's fire. It always comes out. It's polished. It doesn't look like it was just done on a whim, even though it kind of is, but isn't.
Well,
you just
depending on what it is, like even with that, it's not necessarily on a whim because I have a formula that I use.
Right.
And so, like, if I'm at Premiere and I got three companies, it's like, yeah, shoot me a promo video if you can have it for me by tonight. I usually shoot the same 12 to 15 shots, and then I just pick them in different order depending on the company.
Right.
But I know I'm going to have to show like your whole booth, your influencers, something at the station, somebody buying something, somebody smiling, waving, or chucking a deuce up. It's just certain shots that I know I need, and to put them in a certain order, it'd be fine.
Right.
So just due to experience, I'm able to pick up a few bucks like that when I'm out if the show is big enough. But yeah, show season has been getting slower. It's really I think it's just the filtering process of how many shows have popped up.
Right.
Everybody was trying to be the person that did a show in their state. They wanted to have their state's expo. So there was a lot of them popping up for a little bit because Jay Majors make it look easy, Jay riding around on that scooter pointing and giving direction. They think it's gonna be something easy to do, but it's a lot more that goes into it. It's a lot. It's an event. Throwing an event is not cheap. It's not easy. It's not stress free. And so I think after the influx, people realize, like, all right, just like most business models, man, most of them gonna fail in the first 5 years. So you saw a bunch of 2 or 3 times, and then it went away.
Right.
And now you should have basically the staples, the BarberCons, CT, LV, Cherry Show, the 5-star, and then whatever. Like right now, California, I think, is really going through that filtering process because there's a lot of little shows. This show, until somebody just has like the California show.
Right.
So.
And California is so big, so it's hard. I mean, that's kind of the main thing. I know NorCal is definitely a good show. They always pack.
I would say that might be the biggest one.
Yeah, definitely. And then I mean, Golden State with Bebe. I mean, he's been doing it for I don't know, probably like 5 years.
Right.
But it's like a lot of times we were going, and I mean, we sell a product that once you get it, it's one and done. Like you generally don't get another one. It's usually that's it. So for us to go, it just doesn't really make sense. We'll support the show. We send out product, all of that. But for us to go, it's like we can't. We're seeing the same people that we've seen 20 times now. Like,
right.
So, but yeah. So let's dive in deep. get to know you more on a deeper level. I'm sure a
Okay.
lot of people are definitely interested in that. Um, give the audience a brief synopsis of who you are and where you come from, what you do, what you enjoy most about being a man of God and an entrepreneur.
Uh, my name is DJ Zachary. I'm on Instagram as DJ Cut It. I am a barber, a father, a business owner of 20 years. I love the business. I just put up a post today where I was telling a panel last week that I built my life already and was kind of like in coast mode before I even stepped into the industry side of things. I was just so happy to have bounced back from a felony that I had early in my life. I went to prison early and came back home at 18 to 24. And from 24 on, barbering has just been the thing that's catapulted my life. Like, I can't explain or I can't express enough gratitude to the industry for me to be able to build my life, live in a nice home, drive a nice car, marry, have my kids, live a great life, and have that all done and think like, yeah, made it, finish line. And then get down to Jacksonville and run into Angel. And I was getting my SMP done and taking the class. And I was taking the class first. I was taking a class and it's a 3-day class. So we spent a lot of time talking. And he just encouraged me, like, man, I think you should be on the industry side of things. I think you need to start like creating content and getting into telling your story. And so that was 4 years ago now. And
Wow.
ever since then, I picked up the camera. He taught me a few things. I followed him around the country to like 4 different shows trying to figure it out. But he taught me some things. I just left a class with John Mosley this past weekend, so I'm still very much in the learning phase to myself. I appreciate the comment about my content being polished, but I still feel very new. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's only just from comparison. I'm looking at a Poppy Blends. I'm looking at a John Mosley. I'm looking at an Angel Ross. I'm looking at my peers that are like years and years ahead in like even in cinematography, that they understand small things or big things that I don't even have a grasp on yet. So I understand it's a comparison thing, but yeah, that's who I am in total, man. And as far as the God involved in my life, I'm very much a strong believer that if you do the work, and live a good life, God will give you what you looking for. And I don't even necessarily mean God like giving you, because I'm not a big person with like the humanizing of God. I'm not big with the what did
Spiritual.
God give you? Did God give you like I don't want to, I don't, it doesn't sit right in my brain for it to be like this reward system, like, oh, sing enough for me and be good and I'll give you a car. Like, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't compute like that. It's like
No.
you get up and you treat people good. You do. I like to say, if you do a good job and be a good person, you can probably be successful.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And so with that comes even giving people grace when they cross you. Lessons that are in the Bible, but if you're not really applying them in your life, it's just a book that you read, and so it becomes empty. So you have to have a certain for me, I believe you have to have a certain mode of conduct in order for life to even go in your direction that way. Because if you always out on a scam, you always expecting the worst, you always looking to get over on somebody because you think they're looking to get over first, it's gonna be difficult for you to get the opportunities and receive any type of blessing, really, whether it's
100%.
monetary or opportunity or even a relationship, because you're not moving in the right way. So sorry, I don't know if that answered the whole
No,
question in my intro, but
you answered it. You answered it. I mean, that's facts. I mean, I think a lot of people read the Bible, they go to church, it's in one ear, it's out the other, and it's a checkbox on Sunday.
yeah,
And then they're back to the same ways, until they have that spiritual encounter, until they really realize that, if you operate in the word, through the word, and we're all gonna, sin, fall short, and all of that. But if you operate off of the Bible, things become a lot easier. But the spiritual attacks, because we live in a spiritual attacking world, unfortunately, they come. And when it comes, that's a test for your testimony. And if you have a choice whether to pass it or fail and go through another trial.
Yeah.
So,
Now I do believe if you don't learn the principle of the problem that you're dealing with, then you're gonna keep going through that trial and through that test until you pass it. If you don't learn to control your sexual urges, you're gonna fail every relationship that you in. And
mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Just as simple as that. There's gonna be things that you're gonna have to tighten up on your own behavior. So yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
definitely agree with that.
100%. What's a moment in your life where you realized the struggle you were going through was actually God preparing you for a blessing?
Mm, I don't know, because see, that's almost like back to the humanization of God. Like he did this to you so you would learn. When really prison, I went because I robbed them people. That's I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I broke the law and I suffered the consequences of the
Right.
law. I think where God would have kept me at would have been something like during that 6 year stay, I had to do about 18 months. It was all close to 20 months in solitary confinement. And so it's just me, my thoughts, and books for the time being. So in that sense, I would say I feel like God kept me in that time to keep my sanity, to keep everything on track, keep everything in line, so that when I do get out of that situation and back to general population, and then eventually out of prison, I don't have such a hard time readjusting into society where I can't function. Because I've seen that a lot since I've been back over these last 20 years. You'll get people that
Right.
they just can't shake it off. And so it's that's in the way that I look at God would have kept me in that situation, as opposed to necessarily teaching me a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't tend to think of God the same way as a traditional, like say a Christian would, just because my upbringing was so different. So growing up, I have been to plenty of church. My grandmother on my dad's side was the church secretary for Old Black Baptist Church for like 40 years or something like that. On my mom's side, when I'm watching her, when I'm growing up in her house, she's going through a lot of religious changes. Like, so she's been Catholic, she's been Buddhist, she's been Muslim, she's been Wiccan at one point. So it's like my understanding of religion and of spirituality and even of God is very zoomed out as opposed to zoomed in on like maybe just a strict Christian doctrine or a strict Muslim Islamic doctrine or any just one specific doctrine. The way I like to explain it is like everybody kind of every religion that I would any think of even subscribing to, everybody agrees that there was a fight, right? It was God and the devil, God won. Everybody saw the fight. But the way that you're going to describe the fight and the way that I'm going to describe the fight is going to be different. It's going to be generally, oh, he did this, he did that. But you may have seen footwork and a right hook that you feel impacted the fight in a total another way that I saw a left uppercut that really damaged the devil in that capacity. And that's how he lost the fight, or this how he lost the fight. So that's how I look at like Christianity may look at this is the way through Jesus. Islam may look at Muhammad or however they look at through that lens. Or,
Right.
so because when you growing up, you're just thinking like, okay, yeah, I'll do this, do that, go to heaven or go to hell. It's pretty basic. But I saw a thing from a comedian the other day, and me and my wife were talking about it. When you're young and you ask questions like, well, what about the little Chinese kid in Jing Sin that's never heard of Jesus? He's only heard of Buddha. Is he going to hell? You know what I'm saying? And so that starts to expand the way that you're even processing the information that you're getting in church.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I mean, we talked about that in a Bible study as well, and it's like there are if that person that doesn't know any different, generally speaking, just like in Haiti, it's kind of the same thing. There's generally missionaries that go out to these parts of the world that are free to be able to preach the gospel without getting persecuted, arrested, killed, slaughtered, all that kind of stuff. Because I mean, that's what is happening in the Middle East, unfortunately. Is I mean, you get caught talking about Christianity, you're done. Like that's it. There's no question about it. There's no Bible. There's no anything in certain countries. Then they have
Right.
free countries like, Dubai. Obviously, they're free to practice whatever. You can't, sit there and prophesy Jesus on the street, you know,
Right.
but you can still carry a Bible and not get arrested.
Right.
Like it's still free. And that's kind of the major difference. And I think a lot of people, like they have that same question is what about these people in these rural areas? Well, I mean, that's our job as, Jesus followers and all of that is to go out into the world, and bring people to Jesus, you know, because God did send his one and only son. And, if you don't believe in him, that's what John 3:16 is, and John 3:17 emphasizes what John 3:16 says. So it's definitely loaded, especially for places that you would think that they would never receive Jesus into their heart or have the opportunity to. But I think if they're questioning that, I think God would send someone there realistically. Because I mean, we do like our church does a lot of missions, a lot. Like our church is big, and we have wealthy people inside of the church, thankfully. So I mean, we do Nicaragua, Haiti, like all over, just reaching people that have never heard the gospel at all. So, which that's the difference between like, Christianity and a lot of other religions. So that's the big difference. That's for sure. Um, if if God removed everything from your life today except the things that you thanked him for yesterday, what would you still have?
What's today? Monday? Oh, I still have it all.
Mhm.
I still have it all. Yesterday I drove down to Dallas to take a class with John Mosley. So I had like 6 hours on the road total, probably like 7 hours on the road. It's 3 hours, 3.5 there and back. And most of it I rode with no music, man. I know I have a friend who got himself into a bond the night before and went to jail. And I think it's gonna work out for him fine. It seemed like a very big misunderstanding, but it really did put me in a grateful space when I was driving on the highway, and I was really just thinking, man, I'm glad I'm living a good life. I'm grateful for everybody in my life, my health, my wife, my children, my dad, my mom, like everybody, my business partner, Trey, all my guys at the shop. Like I really went through a list because I was just mind spinning and wandering for about 6 hours. So I would still be perfectly all right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now, this same question tomorrow would be different because I got back today into the routine to just get up, go to the gym, make my wife breakfast, get to the shop, cut hair, talk with the guys. So um I do probably should be I not should. I do need to be better on a day-to-day of just expressing my gratitude because if you have to have to answer that question that very next day, you don't want to be
Right.
without nothing.
And I think I started practicing that of waking up 5 minutes earlier and just spend 5 minutes of gratitude in the morning. And
Well, I
it
used to
changed.
have a client. And shout out, I don't know if he ever gonna see this or see a clip, but shout out to my boy Jacoby Ryan. Every time you see Jacoby, you be like, oh, what's up, bro? He'd be like, grateful. That was his response to like anytime you greet him, his response was, oh, I'm grateful. And me and my
Mhm.
wife used to say it quite often for a little while. We probably get back to it now that I thought about it again, but it really does keep you in that space because you're constantly responding with that, and it's kind of kicking you back into that. You're like, man, I am though.
Right.
It gives you these mini moments of inventory for those things in your life.
Right. Yeah. I It changed everything for me. I mean, just showing that gratitude right when you wake up, like your whole day just seems a lot smoother because you're not just get up and go. Because like that's the entrepreneur spirit in us. Just like
Right.
get up, let's go. Like let's get to it. We got things to do, places to be, people to see, all that. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta when you are the businessman, you have to get up and get after it.
Mhm.
Like we had to move this pot up a little bit because I told you, man, that's bedtime for me. I'm going to bed right after this because I get up at 2:30 in the morning, man, and my day do not stop. Once I get up, I'm up. We get up, we go to the gym. I cook my wife breakfast. She's at work at 5. I'm at work right behind that. Whether I'm shooting content, whether I'm cutting hair, got an early appointment, I'm there all day doing whatever I need to do. Come home. If the kids are home, I'm talking with them. If not, they at work. We talking with my wife. Nights like tonight, I'm gonna knock out this podcast. Like my
Right.
day is full. I'm a person that if you tell me you don't have time, I'm probably gonna look at you in a little side eye because I'm like, if I can make time for stuff,
You
you
can.
probably should be able to make time for certain things because my life is full and I like it that way. You know, I enjoy I was just talking about this too. I enjoy a good 75-25% work ratio. Like I can rest for about if on average I had to think of a week, I could do a good 25%. One day and a half, 2 days I'm rested. I'm good. Once we
Right.
do 3 days, I'm like, all right, man, I'm feeling like I need to do something.
Yep.
Like think about like when you're at a show, like, all right, the day of travel, you there, show day, you there. Most times, if you can get up out of there at the end of show day, you finna hop that flight and get on back home. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, yeah, the hotel is nice, the shower is nice, it's cool, but
But
it's
it
not
ain't home.
mine. I want to go
Right.
home.
Yep. I actually just talked to Cherry today. I was like, "Hey, is it okay if I, pack up at 7:30, 8 o'clock so I can catch a 9:25 flight and not have to stay in a hotel another night? Plus the
Right,
flight's cheaper, the hotel is cheaper, like all that." She was like, "As long as you stay past 7 o'clock, you're good." And I was like, "All right, sweet." Because
then the show's gonna be till that late.
I don't think so, but it says 7 to 8, I think, is awards. So
Oh man,
yeah.
I didn't
And
think it was that late last year.
I unfortunately did not go last year. We were present, but I wasn't there.
Okay,
So, but yeah, I was like, I just I'm good. I don't want to stay in a hotel another freaking night.
not
And
if I don't
then
have to.
nope. And then that's rental car, all that kind of stuff that plays a factor. Yeah, no. Like, and as far as like the whole time thing and people saying that they don't have time, that's just it's laughable, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because like we we're surrounded by industry leaders. You and I
right.
both. People that are industry leaders make time,
Yeah,
and they got the same 24 hours that
yeah,
someone with no time has.
right.
So it's like, how bad do you want it? I
Yeah,
mean, just tell me you're too busy and let's schedule it for a different time.
right,
I'll make time. But
right,
right now my plate is full. That's fine. But don't tell me you don't got time.
right.
That's crap.
Yeah,
Your priorities are just different, and that's
yeah,
cool. I understand that, but I want to give kudos to Jay Majors right now because
right.
that man is busy, probably busier than probably most people.
Absolutely.
Let's make it facts. I call him. If he doesn't answer, I get a call back within 30 minutes. Most of the time, he answers.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I mean, granted, we do the website and other stuff for him and everything, but it's still like it's that mutual respect, and he also that's how he is with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you DM him, you're getting a DM within 24 hours.
Yeah. He gonna message you back. I don't call him much. Excuse me. We exchanged numbers before. He called me last year. We was talking about some things. I don't really hit his line unless I have something like I can't figure out without him.
Right.
I need to, because I
Yeah.
know you're busy. It's the same thing like with Boom or
Yep.
with them. I call them a little bit more because we have like a more personal relationship. So I may even call them on my off day just to see what they're doing. But
Right.
yeah, you got to respect people's time and especially people that are not just major in this industry, just respect people's time in general because you
Right.
don't know what's on their schedule. You don't know what they have going on. But I agree with you. Like the you don't have time thing is a very hard sell for me anyway.
Yep.
Like we can make time. Maybe you didn't give me enough heads up. Like you said, we need more time to organize what we're gonna do. But if something is important to you, you will get to it.
100%. Every single time. So let's dive into another one real quick. If I can get my mouse to work. What's a season in your life where your faith was really tested?
A season in my life where my faith was really tested. When we did the shop remodel. So the shop that I was in for 14 years, I had a chance to buy in. That would be about 6 years ago. So I was there for 14 years. I started the shop with my buddy Trey, who now is my partner. And during that time, during my buy-in, we also decided we had to do that big remodel because it was just 6 chairs. So me buying into split 3 and 3 didn't really make a lot of financial sense.
Right.
So we had to do this remodel, and we ended up spending over $100,000, and we were out of the shop for 4 to 5 months, maybe close to 6 months.
Wow.
And it was like it was a strain, man. I was wondering, I was really, really worried, did I make a wrong decision? Because I done basically bet the house on this. Like I had just bought my wife a new house. We had just moved. I think she had just got a new car. It was a lot. I had been making a lot of moves right in that same pocket of time. So it was a lot of things that were up in the air that were settling, but it was taking a while for the vision to come through, dealing with the contractors in the city and just all of that. And so I even remember calling Trey one time, calling him and telling him like, man, I think we might have messed up, man. We might have really fucked this up. And he was like, no, 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 we good. And I'm like, bro, I'm worried. And he was like, yeah, man, but he said he saw something where Jerry Jones one time said, yeah, I made the biggest investments in my life, and I was scared every time I made them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think now looking back, I think it was a healthy fear. I think it was definitely a test to see. Definitely a fortitude test. But we were so far in. Even when I sat back to think of like, all right, well, what does tapping out of this or giving up look like? There really wasn't one. So it was like you already so far into this, you have to see it through, win or
Right.
fail. You can't quit at this point because you can't even. There's no option to opt out. It's either succeed or fail. And so here I am 6 years later. Obviously, are we doing good, succeeding?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to God.
Yeah. Thank God. Yeah, because I mean, I think expansion and growth and all of that comes with those same trials.
Right,
Scaling comes with trials.
right.
Risking that money comes with trials. I mean,
Yeah.
let me
But
tell you.
even scaling with people.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's 20 chairs. So we hurry up and got up to like 18 barbers, but it was like
Wow.
it was so chaotic, bro. When I say it was 18 individual businesses running however they wanted to run, it was chaotic. And so we ended up getting rid of a big wave of people all at one time. It was like they went back down to like maybe 9 people, 8, 9 of us, and built back slowly. Now we at 16 again, but it runs a lot smoother. Everybody's there at a certain time. Nobody's dodging haircuts. It's the shop staying clean now. People are respecting each other's space. Just the flow is a lot smoother. It's now it's easier. But in that moment of scaling, we just not the naivety of us. We had been the same 6 of us for that first 14 years. So
Right.
in me and Trey's mind, like, oh well, when we get a bigger space, it'll just be a bigger version of what we had. Not understanding that we're hiring new people that we don't know. I don't know your personality. I don't know your habits. I don't know your relationships. I don't know how you look at people, how you handle people, how you talk to people. We just know you cut hair.
Right. You
So
don't know their
now,
work
now that
ethic.
we're adding all these strangers to the mix, now we have to figure out, okay, do you fit? Do you fit? How do we coach you into fitting if you don't fit? How do we tell you like, hey, bro, you have to do this, do it this way because hey, you knocking everybody's chances of success when you do it that way. So it definitely also taught me about leadership very, very fast. Um, Not that I didn't think I was built for leadership at all. I mean, just I believe I always have been, but the way that I had to learn to kind of read everybody's personality in the first week or two, or even just the first couple days. We got a guy today, first day today. He's quiet right now. They're usually quiet when they first start, but
Right.
here in the next 30, 45 days, when the jokes start flying, is he going to take it personal? Am I going to have to be like, hey, this guy don't mean that? Am I going to have to
Right.
referee a match of wits at some point with somebody else? I don't even know this man's background yet. Do you have issues with your father or mother or baby mama, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know anything about you yet except for your social media looks very clean and very good. You seem very nice. You cut hair. We just kind of got to go from there.
Yeah, and get to know them as
Right.
the time goes on. Yeah. And I think that running an 18-person shop, or 16 at, now, it's like you have to have those standard operating procedures in
Oh
place.
yeah.
Like, and when you first started, you probably didn't, and I think everyone looks at it and they're like, "Oh, booth run every single chair, like let's get it." And it's like,
Yeah.
"Nah, dude, chaos comes."
Well, I
And
think most people think they're gonna build a culture first
right,
without the SOPs. And when the shop is small, it can work that way just because it's only a few of y'all.
right,
But once you start dealing with, like you say, with strangers, it has to be kind of written first and understood before it can be maintained as culture, in my experience. So that it's when they come, it's not just the barber next to them trying to tell them what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
yep,
they get the understanding of, okay, these are the operating procedures, and then now they're seeing them practice as they come in. So if everybody's there between 9:30 and 9:45, and you coming in at 11:15, 2, 3 days in a row, and everybody's like, damn, what's up, superstar? You just show up when you want, and everybody's cracking jokes. You tend not to want to keep doing that because you have to walk past 15 people cracking you this similar joke for you
right,
finally realize, like, yeah, just nah, that ain't what they do over here. They ain't just
yeah,
doing that over here. I'm gonna get here a little bit earlier.
yep,
So it kind of works both ways. But once you definitely have it set, there's a there's only so much tightening you have to do. Like, we usually have to have a meeting, a big shop mandatory meeting about once a year, just to be like, hey y'all, these couple of things are getting out of control. The music content, or maybe the content the way we talking when there's people in there, because it's like I say, it's 15, 16 barbers. It could be 60, 75 people in my shop easily. Like, every chair is full, and then somebody else is waiting, got next. You had 60 people right there.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you'll miss conversations, or conversations may get out of hand, but you have to reel them in and be like, hey, listen, when there's a mom and there's some older people sitting in the waiting area, talking about certain things ain't gonna be the play. Like, let's
right.
just handle the conversation a different way.
Yeah, read the room
Read
for
the room.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll never forget when I was first, hanging out with Jackie, Iced Out Barber, and she was like, when my barbers start, I sit down with them and I hand them a handbook, and like she goes through the handbook with them, like this
Right.
is what you're expected of. If
Right.
you can't hold yourself to the standard, you're not gonna make it in the shop.
Right.
Period. Like, I will fire you. I don't care. And it's just, I think a lot of shops miss that. And I think
Oh
that's why
yeah.
they're not able to scale. I think that's why they're not able to be, the bossios of, their town and have 10 barbershops, because they can't even handle having 10 people in the shop
Right.
because they have zero operation. They show up when they want, they dress how they want, all that. And it's like that works in a
Yeah.
suite,
Yeah, it
but
works
that
in the
ain't
suite.
working in no shop.
But I think also with the changing of that IRS code and certain things you can't require, I think it's made it harder for certain leaders, a certain level of leadership, to actually lead. So, like,
Right.
because I can't require you to wear an Ice Trays jacket every day, doesn't mean I can't convince you to, right? But
Right.
everybody may not have that. everybody may not have that where thought. They're like, well, I can't tell them what to do. He said, I can't tell them what to do. The code side can't tell them, so they just wear what they want. I explained this to him like, hey, listen, bro. If we all have on the same thing, we look uniform. We look professional. We look like a franchise, right? Why do you want to work against that? You wanted to be with us because we winning, right? Well,
Right.
this is one of the formulas to winning. We put the jacket on.
Yep.
Put your jacket on, bro. If you don't want to do it, I can't make you. But being the oddball out is not going to work in your favor for the long run. It just doesn't make sense. And
Right.
you know what they do? They put the jacket on, bro, because it's not that serious to be
Yeah.
just. You just gotta have your own. And if you have your own personal branding, your such and such cuts or whatever, put that logo on your jacket. We let you do that. We with all the personal branding as a barber. I think
Right.
that's another thing that a lot of booth and shop owners should start embracing. Help your barbers build their personal brand. They will not be with you forever. And if you
Right.
can help them understand how to actually be their own boss and a good boss to themselves, when they go to that next booth and shop, they move cities. They want to come to Arizona. They want to go to Albuquerque. They want to go to Jacksonville. They want to go to Tampa. I can call Basio. I can call Angela. I can call somebody and say, yeah, bro, you gonna love this guy. And they know he gonna work out because he knows how to start from scratch, build his business. He's gonna be present. He's gonna be professional. He's gonna be all the things we're really looking for in barbers. But if
Right.
you don't help them do that, now they're just being their own boss and they're just running amok as they figure it out. And
Right.
what happens is they figure it out and they look back at you and be like, damn, you didn't even try to help me. You
Right.
just kind of let me wander through the woods lost. You could have gave me some guidance. And you just was like, well, you said you didn't want to be on boss. So I'll just let you. Like, come on, man. In the
Yeah.
leadership position, you have to be able to actually lead. And
Right.
sometimes that's going to be able to, that's a lot of times that's going to be able to, you're going to have to be able to convince somebody what's the best for them when they don't see it.
Right. 100%. And when you mold that leader, you know, into that person that they're aspiring to be, are they just going to up and leave? Probably not, especially if you're creating opportunity for them inside of the shop and outside of the shop. Because, I mean, realistically, do you want just one shop? Probably not. You as an individual, like, I know Basio franchises his stuff. They're
Right.
similar to franchising. Maybe it's called franchising, whatever.
Right.
But they have ownership, vested interest in
Right.
the new shop,
Right.
and it's under headquarters.
Right.
That makes sense. And it's like
Right.
when you explain that to someone of like, hey, you don't have to end in this chair and go to another shop. We can start another division and you can have ownership and buy in.
But most of my barbers here lately have been telling me and Trey, like, I think I used to want to own a shop, but after watching what y'all deal with, I don't know if I want to own a shop,
Mm-mm. It's a
because
headache.
they getting to see it firsthand and they getting to see it at scale.
Right.
Like, it's not a lot of, we're very transparent on how we run things because we believe that helps with the running of the situation.
Right.
If we just going into this back room and secretly coming out with random rules, like, that don't work. When we had a certain group of people, we had a certain set of rules. Once those people left, when we drew up the new contract for the next year, there was a lot of rules that applied to those certain individuals that just weren't applicable anymore. So we got rid of them. So barbers that even are with us through that process see that, like, oh, okay, well, hey, what happened to not being able to such and such? Like, well, none of y'all are doing that to each other. So why even bring that up? Like,
Right.
so a barber has to, you have to understand that the people are looking for you, are looking to you for leadership. They are also looking to how to become a leader on their own. So you have to be able to transfer that. But some of them don't want to after they realize what it really takes. Like you say, they're thinking, oh, booth rent, yeah, I can get 10 chairs, $200 a week. That's $2,000. Oh, I have this, I have that. But
Mhm.
are you able to lead 10 men from
Right.
different backgrounds, from different, not just people, men that think they already their own boss, that already got their own money. They grown. Some of them older than you. Some of them are actually better than you at skill set. Some of them are better at you in life. You just now got your credit together. This dude may have 4 or 5 properties. He just really loves cutting hair. Can you still lead him?
Right.
So
Are are
it's
are you coachable?
are you coachable? Yes.
And unfortunately, most people aren't now.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people are not coachable. They think they know everything, and it's like, man, you need to humble yourself and just be
Yeah.
a sponge. Be a sponge.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
mean,
then
but I think that's the leadership's role, is to figure out
mhm,
how do you impact that person that believes they're beyond impact.
right,
You know what I'm saying? How can you really still make the message hit? For me, I enjoy that part of the challenge. I get a barber that, he may not feel like he just should be doing X, Y, or Z. I'm gonna figure out how to make it make sense to you. Because we're gonna have conversation every day, all day. You're gonna say something that in my mind be like, oh, that's the opening right there. And then I'll
yep,
just bring it back around and be like, hey, remember how you felt about X, Y, and Z? Well, that's similar to what we're talking about. I'm gonna bring it home to you. You
right.
know,
You're gonna learn one way or another.
I gotta get the message across, man. It's just part of my it's like a problem solving puzzle for me. Like I'm gonna reach this person. I'm gonna reach this person.
Yep. And that's a gift. I mean, that's a God-given gift to be able to redirect and put it right back in front of their face so that way they're like, "Oh, okay, got it."
That's what this is. Yeah.
Yep. um, what's something in your life today that you once prayed for?
Shit, my whole life. When I was in prison, I have absolutely prayed. It's for a big house and a beautiful wife and a fly car and a business that I would love to work in and good friends and good relationships. Like, man, I all my prayers have been answered. Like I said before I even got into this side of the industry, I just felt like, man, I really made it. Like I really would look at my life and be like, if I don't achieve anything else, I am happy.
Right.
I'm content. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. And so all of this, man, is just icing on the cake, bro.
Mhm. And
The
now it's a
industry
and now
side
it's
is
a
just
movie.
the icing on the cake.
Yep. That's 'cause you remained focused. You remained focused through it all. You had your mind open to everything,
Yeah,
and you were a sponge.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, that's definitely a fact. And I mean, I go into education rooms. If there's an education going on, you're there
Oh yeah.
and you're
Oh
listening.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna listen. That's my favorite part of the shows and expos is actually the education.
Hmm.
Because just keep it real. After you walk around once or twice, you buying what you gonna buy. You ain't really doing nothing else except chit chatting with people that you're familiar with or meeting people. That's when you're doing all the networking. But for me, the meat and bones of it is education. Like
Yep.
I'm not going, even if there's a pre-party, I'm not going to drink too tough at the pre-party, man, because I'm going to be up at that education.
Right.
Somebody on that stage is going to lead. Even before I even got to the industry side, when I was just going to shows, my thing was always, I need to leave with one piece of information, something, some game that's going to change my life, some skill set, some tool, something. I just need one piece of something. But I always felt like I have to be here for the whole thing in order to make sure I don't miss that one something. And
That
so that's
golden
that's
nugget.
why I would really be locked in. And even to this day, why I get locked in because I'm an early bird. Just told you my schedule. So even when we on the show floor, I'm on the road, I done got up, ate breakfast, worked out. I'm up. I might as well go ahead and peek my head in here in education. Especially
Right.
now that I'm working and they paying me to be here, and I don't
Right.
technically have to be on the clock till the show floor opens at 12 or 1 or whatever. But now I get free education.
Hmm.
So why not? Why not go in here and listen to whoever's on this stage about whatever they're talking about? Because there may be something in here that just makes
Click.
that click. Yes, it just one thing.
Yep. That's why I go. I
Yeah,
mean, we're inside of the education too, and we don't even have anybody up on the stage. You
right.
know, we hand out free product with someone that's there,
Right.
generally hand out free product, and like I peep into education, and like sometimes I can only be in there for 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes I'm there for 2 hours, but like I'm in there grabbing nuggets, and I mean I'll never forget Jay Nori and LV was talking about handing out free products, and that's how level 3 is so big and blah blah blah. And I'm like, boom, nugget, free product, all education. Let's get it. And that's what we do. Like the shows that we can't go to, no matter what, if an expo reaches out, which if expos are watching, reach out. We will send you product for everybody in attendance at your education.
Yeah.
And that drives ticket sales on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for both people.
Right.
We don't care if you put our brand logo on a flyer. It doesn't matter. As long as our product gets into the hands of people and you can hopefully sell some more tickets because of it.
Yeah, put our shit in that VIP bag. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't like the VIP bag because it gets missed because there's so much stuff in there. I like it right on the chair in education. And those are the people that are serious that are going to make money too. And then they're going to go back to their shop and they're going to remember they got that free gift. They're going to use it and then they can network during the show. It's not in the VIP bag. They're in education setting it up.
Right. That makes sense.
And then they can go and network at the show effectively, which is a win-win for everybody, for them and for us, because now they're using a product that isn't even sold at the show, unless, you know, we have someone there like Ivan Zoot or someone that has the product. Right. It's just it's a win-win all around. And we just want to make people more money at the end of the day. Our goal is to put more money in people's pocket in one transaction than they'll pay us the entire lifetime. They get one client from a gas station that sits in their chair for a decade, times that by an average haircut, we'll say $35 on a freaking low end. All right. 35 times even once a month, times that by 10 years.
Yeah, you made that way back. Thousands.
You made it way back off of one transaction. That's our goal. Because we know God will bless us in the end. I don't care about giving you free product.
Right.
Pay for the subscription so that way they can put their booking link and book right on the spot. That's it. It's $30 a year. It's nothing. That's our little plug.
yeah, man. Bumper, $30 a year. I mean, the cost of a haircut could get you clients for a lifetime.
Exactly. How do you stay humble when life starts going well? Being that, you know, your trajectory, you know, I'm pretty sure you went to China and did all that with JRL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
how do you stay humble?
Man, I'm in a small town, man. It's hard to get a big head, man. People still know me from when I was a kid. Like, there's people that know me all my life. That is just like, I don't think I have a problem staying humble, so to speak. You know, like, I definitely have an ego. I definitely feel like I'm him. Don't get it wrong.
No, that's not ego.
There's still a lot of compassion within who I really am.
Right.
You know, because I'm still cutting people's hair every day. I'm still hearing your stories. I'm still hearing your pain. I'm still watching you go through this. I'm still having human interactions every single day with working class, hardworking military people, the Goodyear factory people that's working at the sneaker store. Like, everybody and most people in my town are not making what I make as a barber. You know, I come from a very small town, very blue collar. So I hear so much and I've been through so much myself where it's like, bro, it don't even matter what you get on the upside. You're still, the power really comes from still being able to relate to the everyday person.
Right.
Because that's who's going to be in your chair. That's who's going to need your guidance. That's who's going to need your compassion. That's who's going to need your nothingness at sometimes. Just need you to just listen and nod and be like, yeah. And that's it. And then shake their hand at the end. You know, so for somebody that would think they would have a problem or how to stay humble is just remember, man, it can all go away. Like, you don't know when the next pandemic is coming. There's people that raised families on their whole business, got hit with the pandemic, and it shut it all the way down. And they had to learn how to pivot at 47 years old and figure out, well, what am I going to do now with this $2,000 mortgage, with this $4,000 in college debt, or whatever else you got going on? Like, life is fragile, you know, and once you've seen it break and shake a couple of times, you be wise to make sure that you ain't just touting the guys with, oh yeah, I don't need you, I'm good, I got this. Like, yeah, just relax, bro. Like, don't forget it. God walked right up on the end of that in that book. He walked right up on that mountain and took all that from Job just to see if you was gonna stay down.
Right.
So it can get tricky with that.
100%. I was just gonna say that. I mean, God'll take it all away. I mean, that's a test. It's like don't fail it. Don't fail it.
No, yeah.
But back to your ego comment. In my bio for Tinder, when I was swiping left and right before I got married, my bio said, "Don't mistake my confidence for cockiness." I'm just confident. So that's not ego, that's just confidence.
Right.
And that got my wife to swipe right. Now I've been married for 8 years.
Right. Congratulations.
So, don't ever say that you got an ego. You are him. It's okay.
Well, I do. But you have to be self-aware enough to know. Like I do have one. You know what I'm saying? But I'm aware of it. Right. And so it's one of them things. Like I tell my wife all the time, "Hey, I would only say this to you." You know what I'm saying? And then it'll come out, and she'd be like, "Oh my God, well, you was man, what?" You know what I'm saying? So I know it's there, but I've been through enough to know that it only serves a purpose in certain moments for fun or
Right.
for that time when you need that confidence boost. Because you may not always feel that way. You may need to turn your ego on a little bit to make it through that situation. But it's definitely something I'm self-aware enough to know I have one, but I also know how to keep it in check.
Right. 100%. Do you think God gives people tests before he gives them a blessing?
I don't. But that goes back to just my understanding of like the humanization of God. Because for me, that feels almost like playing with you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't view God in that way, like, oh, I'm gonna do this to see if you do that. Because if you're all knowing, you already know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know. I don't really subscribe to well, he'll put you through this to see that. I think he's giving you free will and he's giving you a brain. And if you making bad decisions and you constantly making them, you're gonna stay stuck in that certain situation until you learn. Or if the situation is bad enough, you may have to deal with consequences that are beyond your learning. You may learn the lesson and still have to deal with the consequences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if I subscribe to God putting something in your way in order to teach you a lesson, but I definitely think in your struggles and in your moments of being down, if you sit still enough and you pray and you meditate and you listen, God will give you the answer to that test. Now, whether you want to apply what you need to apply to actually pass it and actually do it, that's a different conversation because you're here all the time. You hear it a lot from preachers like, oh man, God, I was doing this and God told me I was going to preach. And I was like, no, I'm not. But if you have that type of calling, there's only so much you're going to be able to dodge what's supposed to be for you. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if I subscribe to God putting something in your way in order to test you, to give you something on the back end. But I do think with the success of getting through the storm comes a rainbow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's not always a pot of gold back there. Sometimes a rainbow is just something nice to look at and it's not raining no more. And that's what it is. You just get to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
That means he's just refining that gold.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he puts like tests in our way, especially like he doesn't ever tempt us for like sin or anything like that. That's our own, free will or stuff like that. But I think every single, like you said, every single situation is just a refining moment to bring us closer to him, to be trusting in him through every little situation, whether that's, taking a right turn on a red, or freaking picking a restaurant with your wife or a financial decision, So, yeah. Let's see. What's the next good question? What's something God has had to break in you before he could build you?
Something had to break in me before it built.
Mentality. things like that?
I would say that belief that it won't happen to me. You know, that young attitude of, oh, it won't happen to me. That won't happen to me. Um, Once a couple of things happen to you, then it's like, okay,
Mhm.
anything can happen to me.
Good
And
or
I
bad.
think that, yeah, good or bad. And I think that shifts the way that you understand and the way that you process information before you make a decision. Right. So like now I do risk assessments damn near every time I'm finna make a decision because I'm like, all right, this goes all the way to worse. Can I handle it?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If it goes all the way great, then cool. But that's usually what most people think about is just, well, if it goes right, I'm gonna be rich. You know,
Yeah.
but if it goes wrong, will you lose everything? And what does losing everything look like? Like kind of back
Mhm.
to when I was talking about the house and the business and all that. The first house that I bought, I own now. It's paid off. You know, and so failure at this point looks like going back to my paid off house and driving a cash car and trying to figure out how to rebuild from there. Failure doesn't look like living in a cardboard box. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it varies and it makes you really think before you act and realize that there are consequences, even sometimes beyond your understanding to what you're gonna do.
Right. 100%. And it's always good to do a risk analysis, and I think a lot of people all they which is good optimism to have, they see the light at the end of the tunnel only, but they don't see anything that could a road bump that could come ahead. And it's like, okay, but prepare for that because
Yes.
there is a good chance that it may happen, and I always relate it to like, you know, Bopper and running ads and stuff like that. I mean, I did 42 flights in 2024 or 52 flights in 2024. That was a lot. Going
Yeah.
show to show, show to show, show to show, show to show, like nonstop, building relationships. Then I'm like, dude, I'm burnt out. I told both my partners, I was like, I can't do it. Like, and I have a detailing business as well. So
Yeah.
like I'm giving up to go up at the same time. Like I'm trying to give up detailing partially to be able to focus on Bopper. But at the same time, it's like when I leave for detailing, I'm losing a bag. Like
Yeah.
I make barber money detailing
Right.
and I work like 4 hours a day and I'm doing maintenance washes on millionaires' cars. Like that's all that I do. I don't do actual detailing. So it's like these people are weekly, bi-weekly clients. Like I can't be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back Monday, be dead, exhausted because I'm setting up, showing up,
Yeah.
and staying until the end until everyone leaves, and then coming home and then I'm exhausted and
Right.
flying home Monday. Like, no, I can't do this anymore. So I went and paid a guy to start teaching us ads and all of that kind of stuff. Went very well, but it was a risk. I mean, it was a $3,000 5 Zoom call course. That
Mm.
that was crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, to run ads.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I mean, we had tried ads. That didn't work. Every
Right.
time that we do it, I mean, we'd blow $600, $800. Shoot, he first thing, 50 you do $50 a day, don't do $10 a day, don't be broke, blah blah blah. Like, I mean, he's in your face, $50 a day. And I mean, we did like $100 in sales on a $20 product. And I'm like, let's
Okay.
go. I mean, if we can run a bag, like, let's get it.
Yeah.
That changed our business. But
Right.
then it's like scaling and being comfortable with, oh man, we lost $900 today. Like, are we gonna be good? You know?
Right.
Because if let me tell you, it can go really fast. You don't pay attention to it,
Absolutely.
and when I mean, I want to get to the point where, we're spending 5, 10, $15,000 a day on ads. So that way we can do 10, $11,000 in sales and be okay. We're
Yeah.
going to break even and then focus on subscription. That's it.
Right.
That's all that we care about. Just subscription, whatever.
Christian. Yeah.
But man, and then going through ad agency, ad agency, ad agency. I mean, some of them wanted $3,000 a month to run
Yeah.
ads.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
It
I'm
gets
like,
the last company I used wanted $800 a month. And for a blueprint shop, that's expensive because you're not getting that commission that comes up back off that sales.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a good investment, especially if you actually learned. That was the win right there.
Yep. And it changes your business, and it also changes your mindset to not be fear.
Yeah,
Don't don't
absolutely.
don't fear spending the money. Just, all right, is this gonna be ROI positive? How
Yes.
long till it is ROI positive?
And
Because
cannot stand that storm in the midst of that.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And doing that risk analysis, and I mean, I told both my partners, I said, "Listen, I'm burnt out of shows, so it's either we take a risk on this, we might be, losing money for a couple months, but we aren't taking checks anyways.
Right.
Everything's getting reinvested." So it's like, so what? The account gets depleted a little bit, but I don't have to go to shows all the time.
Right.
I want to do CT, LV, Cherry Show, Midwest Trade Show. That's
Mm.
it. And the barber plug, which I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose that, but that is going on this summer. I just,
Oh, you know what?
I
I was just
just,
down there with Devontae. I didn't even ask him because
I
I
just
knew.
found out, like literally like an hour ago.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to hit him up because I definitely want to be involved.
yeah, me too. That's like that show beats most shows.
Yeah.
Like to be
But he's a but he's a networking monster.
mm-hmm.
He is
Yeah.
a networking monster. I will give him that. Devontae get
He,
busy with that networking. And I knew he
he-
could do it when I was watching. It used to be a rap podcast called My Expert Opinion, and it was filmed in a barbershop. He gave them new chairs, and he had his barber plug sign in the background. And I was like, oh yeah, he's smart. He paying attention to what's going on. He's moving in the culture. So
mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna have to call him tomorrow, man. Make sure I reach out and support that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just love it because he doesn't have 100 booths there. There's not
Yeah,
100 different vendors.
yeah,
It's like 20, 25. And we all like, I go around and talk to everyone because most of the people that are there, like I've networked with, we've done custom branding together, custom cards, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, how'd you do? Dude, best show every year. Best show,
yeah.
best show, best show. Because there's no competition, you know? If there's one company that's selling t-shirts, the other company is focused on stickers and pins and might sell a little bit of t-shirts,
Right.
and it's not like there's no competition.
Yeah.
It's just everyone makes a bag and everyone goes home so happy, and it's like, can't every show be like that? And there's smaller shows, but they don't bring out 2,000, 3,000 people like Devontae does. I mean, he
Yeah.
packs it
Yeah.
like something else. Something else. All right. Do one last question. If someone listening right now feels stuck in their life or in their faith, what would you tell them?
If someone right now feels stuck in their life or their faith, well, if they're stuck in their faith, I would definitely say you need to focus when you're praying because there's a voice in your head and it's talking to you. You just need to hear it. And if you feel stuck in your life, I would say you need to go through the sections of your life, almost like a vision board, but in reverse. So I would list out, business, marriage, kids, relationships, friendships, whatever the sections are of your life, and really take a deep dive into them and see what are you doing to enrich that. Because you can't control what nobody else is doing, but you can control what you're doing.
Right.
So if you feel stuck, you need to figure out where you're stuck at and start creating a plan of action to go forward. This is a very simple breakdown of it, very minute, but a couple of weeks back, I broke my Osmo 360, right? And I was like, oh, I'll get it fixed. I'm big on procrastination. I suck. I was like, my wife hates that part. But when I went to that class, I realized that my creating has slowed down immensely because I don't have that easy, quick video camera that I had.
Right.
So I need to go back and fix the camera, get sent off, blah, 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 blah. It's just that simple with your life. Like, if you feel like you and your girlfriend or your wife's relationship ain't going the way it's supposed to go, you need to sit down and ask yourself why. Are you communicating how you feeling? Are you communicating where you want to go? How are you communicating that? Is she listening? Is she receptive to it? Why isn't she receptive to it? Have you been a bullshitter your whole life and now you're trying to be serious? Well, she understands that you've been playing most of the time, so you're not going to get taken serious right away. Like, you really have to be willing to dive into the self-awareness aspect of your life in order to get things moving back in the positive direction. And most of the time that's going to come through introspection and prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And diving in that word.
Yep.
Putting God first in everything that you do. That's the number one thing. I think that's the number one thing that I've seen inside of the industry is the people that are up on those stages always say, I want to, give glory to God, put God first. And I'm just like, all right, God, I know that I'm in the right room. And, I know that I've said this on a previous podcast as well, but like this whole podcast came because of a purpose Bible study. Literally, it was all about purpose. And I texted my partner and I was like, Bop with a Purpose podcast, had a logo to me in the morning. And when I was 16, I went to an altar calling. I had to break up with my girlfriend, went to an altar calling. I was told that I had a huge calling on my life. And it was to do business and ministry together, not separate. And then when I went to Impact Church out here in Scottsdale, that was done in Illinois and Wisconsin. When I went over here to Arizona, I went to Impact Church, went to an altar calling with my wife. After we got married, all this completely like talking a decade later.
Right.
And the same thing was told to me. And I started crying. And I'm just like, all right, God, I got it. But what?
Right.
Like, how? Guide me. Like, what do I need to do? Because I'm lost. Like, all I know is detailing. And we didn't have Bopper at all.
Right.
And I was just like, all right, God, all right. I texted my dad and I said, what did Pastor Evelyn say in Illinois? And because I know that he had the note file in his iPhone, because he still had an iPhone that was like iPhone 6. And he sent it to me and I was like, same exact thing was just said to me. And then when we had that purpose Bible study, I was like, all right, God, got it.
That's it.
Even if it's one person, even if it's one person that gets saved, that's all that matters.
Yep.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. That's our goal in life. It's not about money. It's not about materialistics. It's about enhancing the kingdom of God. That's it. And I'm going to be unapologetic about it. And I'm going to use the platform that God blessed me with, thankfully, and that has grown. Thank God those flights paid off.
Right.
So, all right, rapid fire. One word to describe faith.
One word to describe faith. Belief.
One word to describe blessings.
Responsibilities.
Something God taught you recently.
Something God taught me recently. That's a good one. Something God taught me recently. I ain't gonna say taught me, but kept me in the space of gratefulness.
Love that. One thing you're grateful for today.
My wife.
And one message you want people to remember you by.
It's medicine if you take it.
Let's get it. And on that note, thank you for joining Bop with a Purpose podcast. You're tuning in live with DJ Cut It and your host, Tim Champion. Thank you. Have a blessed day. It's medicine if you'll take it.
Already.
Alrighty.
Good night, brother, man. I appreciate Tony, man.
Always, always. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Faith, business, impact. You're tuned in to Bop with Purpose podcast, where purpose leads and success follows.